Secretary of State Shenna Bellows. Welcome to you, Madam Secretary. This is our second conversation. I had the opportunity to speak to you yesterday when I was sitting in the chair in Deadline White House. And yesterday when I asked about your safety amid backlash and targeting from Donald Trump and his supporters, you told me that this was about the rule of law, not your personal safety. But since we last spoke, your home was the target of a swatting call, and that is according to Maine State Police. Now, they note after they received a call from an unknown male saying he had broken into your home. Thankfully, no one was found inside. There was no danger. But are you now concerned about your safety or the safety of your family or even your staff?
I am. And I decided to speak out today because threats of violence are unacceptable. Swatting the home of an elected official who is doing their job is unacceptable. And what my staff, my team have experienced, what they experienced all day yesterday was a constant onslaught of threatening communications. And that has to stop. You know, here in Maine, we've always prided ourselves on agreeing to disagree on issues of importance without threats or violence. But unfortunately, we've seen an escalation of the rhetoric, and that needs to stop.
Madam Secretary, then what steps are now being taken to ensure that these threats don't impact your ability to serve the people of Maine? And I will note for our viewers who may not be aware that the ex-president posted on his social media site a link to your address, your phone number of your offices. What is being done to mitigate any harm that could potentially come you all's way?
I am so fortunate. Law enforcement in Maine have been incredible. They've been communicative, they've been responsive, they've gone above and beyond to keep my team, myself, my home, the people that I love safe. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that they're working this holiday weekend to keep me safe. But I want to go back to the rule of law and the Constitution, because that's what's important. And we, all of us citizens, have a role to play in this democracy, in free and fair and respectful debate. And I must say, from all across the state of Maine, I have received messages of love and support, including from people who disagree with my decision, but have expressed that respectfully and with love. Indeed, one former state legislator called me yesterday, a very conservative Republican, and he said, look, I don't agree with your decision, but I respect you. You're my friend. Do you want to come to my house or do you want some of my firearms? That type of outpouring of support is important, but it is important for all good people to speak up. And furthermore, I also want to call out the dehumanizing images that have been placed online of me, the threatening communications to people in my family and to my staff, people who work for me. It is designed to instill fear and to provoke silence, to keep people from speaking out, to send a message. And that is absolutely wrong, and we cannot stand for it.
Madam Secretary, I am struck by the call you received from a conservative state legislator, given and that, you know, the answer was not
former state legislator.
Pardon me, yes, former state legislator. And the answer was to offer you, you know, comfort and support and firearms, but and not necessarily call out some of the bad actors in, you know, that representative's own party, like the former president, who has targeted you, or even folks like Maine Republican State Representative John Andrews, who recently filed a motion to have you impeached. I want to play a clip for you from him right now.
With this edict, Shenna Bellows has unilaterally disenfranchised 300,060 Maine voters with this partisan move. Our nation is a republic. Maine is made up of citizens and not subjects in the duchy of Shenna Bellows.
What's your response to the impeachment motion and also the claim that this disenfranchises voters in your state?
So first, let's just take this absurd motion. It's absurd. Particularly, you don't impeach someone for doing their job as directed by the Maine state legislature. And keep in mind, for viewers at home who may be new to the issue, Maine is unique in that the Maine legislature, under Title 21A, it's our election laws, has a specific procedure. So I qualified Trump for the ballot based on his petitions and his signatures. And then it was registered Maine voters who have the right to do that under Maine law. 5 of them, 2 former Republican state senators, Kimberly Rosen and Thomas Saviello, and the former Democratic state senator quoted on your show earlier, as well as 2 citizens. They brought that challenge, and under the legislature's directive to me, I must hold a hearing within 5 days, which I did. And then I'm required by the law to issue a decision on that hearing within 5 days of the conclusion of the hearing proceedings. That is my obligation under the law and under the oath I swore to uphold the Constitution. Now, and you mentioned this earlier, but it's really important. I, in my decision, suspended the effect of my decision for the appeals process to the court to be carried out, because that is the process and the rule of law under our state. So to impeach me for doing my job and following the law here in Maine is absurd. It's some of this inflammatory rhetoric, attack the person rather than debate the issue at hand, distract the public from the issue at hand rather than focusing on the rule of law and the Constitution. So we'll stop there. Happy to answer any other questions.
Well, Madam Secretary, along the lines of the rule of law, then, I guess my question is, how is your office going to prepare for what is next, right? You are now potentially facing an impeachment inquiry. Something has been introduced. Maine's primary election is going to happen in March. It may take time to determine the outcome of the appeals process. What are the next steps here? How are you going to move forward?
So what I can talk about is the process, right? So the Superior Court has until January 17th to issue a decision on the ballot challenge. And these types of decisions about ballot access by the Secretary of State happen all of the time. For example, we barred Chris Christie from the ballot because of failure to secure enough signatures. I am required by law to review every candidate and their qualifications for the office they seek for access to the ballot. So the Superior Court will rule by January 17th. Ballot preparations are underway. We have suspended the effect of the decision, and we will wait to see what the court tells us to do. That's the process.
That is the process. Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, thank you very much for being here, and I hope you, your family, and your staff continue to be safe. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
If it makes you feel any better, I have already put evac on alert. He's ready to go if it comes to that. General, I can assure you.
Hey, General, let me into the war room to see you, so I had to hack my way onto this frequency.
This better be critical, Wheelie.
So, come on, what is it now, please? Okay, couple of things. I wanted low on the double. I was thinking about taking a couple of months sick leave, maybe starting today. And, oh yeah, I intercepted a transmission from Megatron.
Then send it through.
Yes, sir, right away, sir. And so I'll assume that we're going on the other stuff.
This is your last warning, insects. Relinquish what remains of the Allspark.
So who's the insect? You? What? Who's the insect?
Protect you. They will defeat it on our world, and we will defeat them here.
The Megatron.
This was just a diversion.
Security, please bring up. Rabbit, she's already inside. Deeds! Give me an update on that reserve. What's readiness? What was his name? What was it?
Evac, sir.
Right, evac.
She's right in front.
We are facing a heavy, sustained attack. They appear to be after the Allspark.
General